If you've started a side hustle recently and are less than thrilled with the results that you're getting, then you're not alone. Passive income is a goal that a lot of us want. Who wouldn't want to sit at the beach while something else generated the income that we needed to run our lives? I've spent years working in the non-for-profit world as a communications professional. One thing that I've had to learn is that you need to be creative when it comes to generating income. Most importantly, we had to keep showing up even when it feels like no one is looking. And honestly, that's what building a real income looks like. It's not showing up and winning overnight, it's winning over time. In this video, I want to share with you 5 side hustle ideas that are guaranteed to work if you put the time and effort in and show up consistently. Plus, stick around to the end and I'll share with you one rule that I've carried with me in every single one of my campaigns or side gigs myself. Number 1 is to monetize a skill that you already have. Now, the hardest part about starting is thinking, what can I do? But I guarantee you, there is something that you can do that someone else can't. Now, that could be a hard skill like writing, administration, design, editing, social media. You might be really good with Excel spreadsheets. There will be someone in your community, in your surroundings who needs that skill. And if you take a little bit of time to look around, post in your local community groups on Facebook, ask around, there is someone out there who is less skilled at doing that thing than you are. So start small. Look around for local businesses who need the skill that you have. You can take this into the online space as well. There's so many great gig economy places like Fiverr and Upwork. I've seen how this works in my non-for-profit work because we have to lean on the strengths that we have. We run small teams and we can't always hire in specialists to do every single part of the job. So I have to lean into the strengths that I have. I have to say, actually, I'm really good at this. And so I'm going to focus on that and not try and do everything all at once because it's a little overwhelming trying to figure out what to do. But if you can identify what you're good at, that's a really great place to start. Coming out of that is number 2, where you can teach or tutor. The cool thing about being a teacher is you don't have to know everything about a subject to teach it. You only have to be one lesson ahead of the person that you're teaching. There are a ton of great online platforms to teach something. So if you've got your skill, if you've identified that, hey, I'm actually really good at making spreadsheets on Excel, there will be a place for you to teach that. Now, you might need to do that for free, or you may need to participate in, say, an Excel spreadsheet subreddit, building some profile, putting some work in, putting some groundwork in. But opportunity comes from the least expected places. And sometimes you don't know where your participation will turn into actual work, paid work. Now, we've talked a little bit about selling skills, things that we know, but also if you're able to make something that people need, or if you're solving a problem, or if you're creating something that they see value in, that's something you can monetize into a side hustle. Whatever it is, you're looking for the gap. You're looking for something that people need and require. And this is the kind of thing I do in my work all the time, is I'm constantly looking for the gap. I'm looking for the problem to solve. And to elevate that, I'm asking what makes the thing I'm making uniquely different to what other people are making. And that's where value is created. When you're doing something that no one else is, or you're executing something in a way that is better than your competitors. Number 4 is to offer a real world service. So these are really basic. These are really basic ideas like pet sitting, lawn care, mowing someone's lawn, tutoring, cleaning, doing errands for people, even helping older folks with their tech trouble. This isn't glamorous by any means, but I hope you're getting from this video the sense that creating income isn't about the glamour and the sheen of what we see on social media feeds. It's never going to serve you. Real income generation is gritty, it's determined, it takes a lot of work, especially when you're doing errands for $10 a pop. thinking, I'm never going to solve my problems doing this. But the lesson so much isn't in the money being generated, but it's in the showing up, it's in the being consistent, it's in the grit and the determination and the stamina to keep going. And you know, there are businesses where it started as one person doing work for their community and scaled up big time. And so I talked about it previously, but if you can find a need that your community requires, something that is being unfulfilled in your area, there's always possibilities for you to create something. Number 5 is start a content engine. A content engine is a great way to create value in online space. So I'm doing that on YouTube. I'm creating financial content in the niche of being explained in this way. But there's so many places where you can advertise and broadcast your skills to the world. I mean, careers have been made overnight with one TikTok, Substack for long form writing, essays, blogs, ideas, Instagram. It doesn't have to be something fancy. In fact, I would argue that people are craving authentic representation of people in a world now where you're not even sure what's real or not, where AI generated content is so good now that people are craving authentic human creativity. And if you can provide that, I still think there's a place for you in the creator economy. So start a content engine, take that skill or that idea or that knowledge, place it in an online space, and it might not take off straight away. In fact, my YouTube stats are a great example of why you can't expect to have 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million followers overnight. But if you do that consistently over time, if you're thinking long term with any of these ideas, what you're doing is building trust. Trust builds an audience. If people can trust what you're saying, if they trust your expertise, if they trust your knowledge, if they trust you as a person, if you're authentic, that will build income. But income cannot be the first step. It must be to create something of value, of substance that people find compelling. That's a lesson I've been learning in my professional capacity as well. Income generation starts with great storytelling, and sometimes the best story that we have is the one that we carry ourselves. I want to talk now about a rule which I have carried with me for a long time now. And it's something that served me really well. It's really basic, and I've mentioned it a couple times in this video already. But I genuinely believe that consistency plus time is equal to success. Consistency plus time. Nothing happens overnight. We might see that on social media and think it's possible, but for 99.9% of us, success does not happen overnight. And with a lot of these side hustles, especially the influencer stuff that you're seeing on Instagram, YouTube, it's designed to tickle this idea that you can do things quickly, and it's actually really counter to the reality of just what it takes to build a business, to build something of substance. A lot of people get sucked in by these videos and they start drop shipping, they start creating content, and then realize it's not paying off in the way that they expected to see. Then they're expecting to see the same results that they saw on Instagram, and it's just not gonna happen. And eventually they give up. And it's not because of laziness, but because it's slow. It doesn't feel like anything's changing. It doesn't feel like anything's growing. It doesn't feel like the subscriber count is going up. It doesn't feel like the views are going up. But in my experience, the real magic happens when nothing happens. Quite often in my career and in my life, the moments of biggest breakthrough come after the seasons of silence, when it just felt like things were not happening. But what's happening in those moments is that you are building slowly, brick by brick by brick. And it's only in hindsight, it's only when you turn around and look backwards and see how far you've come that you realize what you've built. I went on a weight loss journey a couple of years ago, And the deeply annoying thing about losing weight is that everybody else except you gets to see the results, because you get so adapted, you get so used to seeing your reflection in the mirror every day. You don't see the small changes, the little pockets of weight that are dropping off from random points in your body. You don't get to see that. Everyone else does. And while that seems unfair, when you turn around and look in hindsight and you see the before and after, you go, yeah, I did it. The same principle applies here. Don't get caught in the trap of thinking there's such a thing as easy money. There isn't. And even if by some chance you launched your side gig that you saw on YouTube and it did do well overnight, you would be missing out on one thing, which is the resilience, the strength, the character building, the robust problem solving, gritty nature that you develop over months and months and months of just turning up. But for others, and especially for me, I want to aspire to be that type of person, to be the type of person who, when things aren't going my way, am still able to turn up. Okay, so that's 5 passive income ideas, which I think have a really good shot at helping you create that coveted passive income stream if you can stay consistent over time. I'm also on the pathway for this, learning about YouTube, all the ins and outs and all the intricacies of creating videos and content like this. So your feedback is super helpful and appreciated. Leave me a comment down below if I've missed anything, if you've got an idea for a side hustle that I haven't covered. Plus hit subscribe if you feel like this content is helpful for you. It really helps me to grow the channel, but also not so much as a number to shoot for, but just having a community of people who are interested in demystifying money and making it real and applicable in their lives. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kris, this is the Money Translator. I'll see you on the next video.